This is a real-life regret story about a moment I wish I could undo. One decision, 5 seconds, permanent consequences. I remember the exact second, the weight of the glass jar in my hand, the grainy powder on my tongue, the metallic aftertaste that clung to my mouth like a curse. If I could rewind time, if I could undo any single moment in my life, it would be those 3 seconds. Because that's when I accidentally ate a piece of a man I never knew. This wasn't some dark ritual. This was a Tuesday night in Malibu. My girlfriend Mia, a celebrity stylist, had let me stay at her absurdly expensive apartment while my own flat was having a water heater fixed. Our relationship was tumultuous. We'd broken up, then gotten back together almost 24 times in a single year. But that night, I wanted to be the perfect boyfriend. I was making her a 5-course Thai meal. I reached for the spice rack, a chaotic collection of exotic jars and blends. Tucked in the very back, behind some turmeric and old bay leaves, was a small, unlabeled glass jar. It was heavier than it looked, filled with a fine, grayish powder. No label, no smell, nothing to indicate what it was. I assumed it was some kind of specialty salt or a rare, potent spice Mia picked up on her travels. Curiosity, that's all it was. A chef's instinct. I unscrewed the lid. No distinct aroma. I dipped my finger into the powder, brought it to my tongue. The taste, it was distinct, like dried fish flakes. Exactly like the food I used to feed my pet goldfish. It was odd, yes, but not unpleasant enough to make me recoil. I even took a second larger taste, trying to place the exact nuance, a salty, earthy, faintly metallic taste. I considered adding a pinch to the curry. Thank God I didn't. I capped the jar and put it back, dismissing it as just another Malibu eccentricity. Mia arrived home. The apartment was filled with the aroma of ginger and coconut. She loved the meal. We were laughing, drinking wine. For a rare hour, all the crazy that usually permeated our relationship seemed to vanish. It felt normal, peaceful. I leaned back in my chair, feeling content. That's when I casually mentioned the jar. I said, "By the way, what was that unlabeled jar in your spice cabinet?" The gray powder that tastes like fish flakes. I almost put it in the curry. The smile vanished from Mia's face. Her eyes went completely flat, cold as stone. She slowly put her fork down. The clatter echoed in the sudden silence. She just stared at me for a long, agonizing moment. Then, in a voice as dry as dust, she said, "That wasn't a spice, honey. That was Gary, my ex-husband. He was a legendary 80s rock band manager. He died last month. He didn't want a burial. He wanted his friends to have a piece of him." I remember the rest in fragments. The bathroom, the scrubbing, the futile attempts to untaste the impossible. We stayed together for another 8 months after that. Mia broke up with me 3 more times over things like me forgetting to buy oat milk or accidentally liking an ex's photo on Instagram. The ashes never came up again. I never knew where she put Gary after that. I never asked. Sometimes you wish you could undo a moment, not because of the mistake you made, but because of the horrifying truth it forced you to face about someone else. The taste of Gary. It never really leaves you.